it's really great to finally see after 3 years of hard work of all of us to see it finally up there in front of everyone. And hope you all enjoy it. I can honestly say we haven't always enjoyed the process of getting here, but the hard work has obviously paid off. You can see there today. I'd firstly just like to remind everyone, for us it's only been a journey of 3 years. We looked at it 3 years ago and decided one way or another that we should try and do this for the community and for ourselves. Obviously, people that know Kilwell, we've always been trying different things, moved on from different products, and this was just a continuation of that. At that stage we were also starting our lean journey, and part of that was trying new things, learning new stuff, and also putting back into the community and putting back into where our staff live and work. And this was kind of ticked all the boxes for us. And it's certainly been a journey for us as we've got to the end of it. I'd just like to thank the Rotorua Lakes Council staff, Stuart, Mark, Vicky, the ones we dealt with all the time as we've been through this. They've been a rock and they've been very understanding, and as you can all appreciate, it hasn't been an easy journey, but they've been very understanding from that point of view. I'd like to say especially thanks to those guys and Vicky. Also for Will Bamford on the day for the installation. He stepped up and did a wonderful job bringing to life what we'd kind of thought of at the start, but on that one day everything had to go right. Not everything did go right, but enough went right that we got it in place and we finished it off and got it finished in the end. And that was a testament to a lot of people and a lot of hard work and a lot of planning. So I'd really like to thank Will for that on the day, and for Rotorua Council for helping us with that. For our staff, I'd like to make a special mention for them. For Will and for Dennis, they started this journey right from the very beginning. Totally it's been 21,500 plus hours for us. You can understand that. Dennis is from the beginning to the end. He started with Will doing the 3D printing, and he finished at the end in the very hot sun, putting it back together and finishing it off and putting in the last tubes on the day. He did over 4,000 hours himself on this project over the last couple of years. It's a lot of hard work and a lot of sweat and tears, and thank you for that, and thank you for a lot of the staff. Mike, Shane, and Zane here, and they were also guys in the factory that did a lot of hard work, laminating, sanding, grinding, putting all the layers together, day in, day out. Del, Fiona, and even Richie, I think, painting. It's not an easy job painting something that big when you're sitting in a chair hanging 7-12 metres from the ground, wrapped up with a canopy. So that for us was a learning experience. We had to get guys trained, health and safety, doing that. Something new, something outside our comfort zone, but something that we can now say we've done and we can do again if we need to. For Dave and Dan, our engineers, making jigs to test it on, something a bit new, something that there was none of these made. We had to work with our engineers, Stuart in Auckland, on how we'd make those jigs, how we'd test it, and getting it done to make sure it complied with the safety standards and certification. For others that can't be here today and not here or not working for us anymore, Barry, he was he originally joined us to rig masts, but he ended up putting together a sculpture, not what he planned. A lot of hard work. He put it in, he got most of it in the end. Chelsea, Joe, and Jay, and a few other little people that popped in and out during the time, all contributed in one way or another. I'd also like a special thanks to Laz. During the process, our factory manager unfortunately left and decided to build houses. We looked around and we got Laz in. He came in as an engineer, which was very useful in this project, and he spent a lot of time working out how to rope things, how to put together, manage the staff, get it all together and get it finished. And he wasn't in the staff, but he came in and he helped, and took a lot of work off my hands, and I really like to thank Les for that. And lastly, the owners, Jeff and Amanda. It was something I suggested that we try, and they let me. for better or for worse. I might admit that now. I'd like to thank them for the trust they put in me and for the resilience and the support to get through to the end of this. It hasn't been easy, and thank you especially for them. But also the network of businesses across New Zealand has helped put this together. We had Bird Engineering in Auckland, Composite Engineers. They were great for doing this. It certainly helped that the head guy that used it, James, is a very keen mountain biker. So he came down and stayed at my house, we went biking, and then we'd go back and have a look at the sculpture and do some work on it. It certainly helped. Mark Kahu, I don't believe he could be here today, from Kahu Helicopters. He stepped in at the last minute, unfortunately, when Alan beat helicopters. So I'd like to say thanks to Alan. He spent a lot of time trying to work it out, but unfortunately his helicopter just wasn't grunchy enough to lift it off the ground in the end. But I think you can all agree that Black Hawk coming in over the hills there was certainly something I certainly won't forget, and it certainly added to the sculpture and the history of it. New Zealand Scaffolding, a Rotorua company. We planned on having 3 months of scaffolding. The amount of scaffolding that was on our base ended up being there for about 13 months. They certainly got some good work out of it, but it certainly provided a platform for us to work and assemble it and paint it. So thanks to them. Sion, particularly Bruce Davey here, thank you very much for allowing us to come down and test the product at his place. We use them a lot for testing our tubes. He loves breaking all our gear that we make. And one day I'm sure we'll end up breaking your windows, something we can get. But see, we had a lot of time trying to break the tubes. Sometimes it broke our jibs. But in the end it was strong enough and it proved that it could be completion of the certification. Tony from Protect Stainless over in Hamilton. Thanks to you. I know it's been a long journey for you, in and out and changing and making that base plate and making them knife panels. I think we've all agreed you've done a great job. Thanks for that. Also, we had a couple of other little companies in New Zealand, Rotorua, Vortex Engineering, a couple that make some jigs to start off with, and 3D Design over in Tauranga. Chad provide some of the filament, and we cleaned them out several times. He brought in container loads and we just cleaned them out every time, so thanks to him as well. So that's all from me. It's just really a thank you to everyone that contributed to help us. We couldn't have done it without everybody. And, thank you all and enjoy. Good morning. Thank you.